against Punjab, and all eyes will be on skipper Ruturaj Gaikwad, who's on a hot streak. With 447 runs from 9 innings, the CSK captain is the second highest run getter behind Virat Kohli in this IPL. He has registered scores of 108 and 98 in his last 2 innings. Daryl Mitchell too seemed to have regained his touch at just the right time with a 32-ball 52 against Hyderabad, even though the New Zealand batter has got just 198 runs in 8 innings. However, the real storm force in the CSK lineup is Shivam Dube, who has tormented the opposition bowlers while coming in as a sub. Dube so far has made 350 runs, which is the second highest for CSK behind Gaikwad's 447. And those runs have come at a strike rate of 172.41, second only to MS Dhoni's 259.45. He would love to celebrate his World Cup T20 call with some fireworks at the Chepauk. Chennai team would expect Ajinkya Rahane to play better in the support role to their skipper. The former India captain has managed just 170 runs from 8 innings. His last 4 outings as an opener have produced scores of 5, 36, 1 and 9. Punjab Kings will be desperate to carry the momentum after that record chase and climb up the ladder from the current 8th place. For that, their batters need to fire as a unit once again. The onus is on Johnny Bairstow, who made 100 against KKR. The Englishman's unbeaten 108 in the record chase against Kolkata has been his best knock this season. Shashank Singh and Prabhsimran Singh, the top 2 run-getters for the Punjab outfit, must continue their good show in the best interest of the team. Shashank has tallied 263 at an impressive average of 65.75 and a strike rate of 182.63. Prabhsimran so far has compiled 208 runs in 9 innings. But Punjab will eye a more impactful outing from wicketkeeper batter Jitesh Sharma, whose 128 runs in 8 innings at an average of mere 16 and a strike rate of 125 are far from his true potential. However, the Punjab bowling department looks a bit shaky despite having experienced campaigners like Kagiso Rabada, Harshal Patel, Arshdeep Singh and Sam Curran. Each of the 4 main bowlers in the Punjab ranks at an average has leaked more than 9 runs per over. The joint most successful bowler with 14 wickets, Harshal Patel, has been conceding runs at a 10+ economy. The visitors will also require a much improved effort from their spinners, Harpreet Brar and Rahul Chahar, as they've managed just 7 wickets among them this season. Now, on the day that the BCCI selectors announced India's T20 World Cup squad, 3 vital members of that 15-man group endured a tough outing in the IPL. Put into bat by Lucknow Super Giants skipper KL Rahul at the Ekana Stadium, Mumbai Indians slumped to their worst power play score in the IPL as the trio of Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya and Suryakumar Yadav combined for a total of 15 runs. Set a target of 145, LSG huffed and puffed and got the job done in 19.2 overs for the loss of 6 wickets, with Australian all-rounder Marcus Stoinis scoring the only half-century of a low-scoring match. The result moved LSG to 3rd place with 12 points, well placed to be one of the 4 playoffs teams, and left MI with 6 points after 10 games, struggling to qualify. Now, for those getting fed up of a slew of 250-plus totals in this IPL, yesterday's match in Lucknow was one to savor if you're not a fan of video game style of T20 cricket. A total of just 289 runs was scored across both innings for the loss of 13 wickets. There was just one score of over 46 in the match and only 7 sixes were hit. It was a day for the bowlers as LSG restricted MI to 28 for 4 in the power play, which included the wickets of Rohit for 4 to Mohsin Khan, Sky to Stoinis for 10 and MI skipper Hardik Pandya for a golden duck caught behind of Naveen ul Haq. And with the run out of Tilak Varma for 7, the 5-time IPL champions were in mess in just the 6th over. No Mumbai batter found the going easy on that Lucknow surface with Nihal Vadera's 46 of 41 balls, the highest contribution to an innings total of 144 for 7. The other useful knocks were Tim David's unbeaten 35 of 18 and a scratchy 36 ball 32 from Ishan Kishan up at the top. For LSG, Mohsin Khan took 2 wickets for 36 runs and Stoinis, Naveen, Ravi Bishnoi and the returning Mayank Yadav took 1 each. And there was more concern for LSG as Mayank, back after missing almost a month of cricket, had to leave the field in his fourth over. Set a target of 145. LSG also struggled for momentum, but not losing too many early wickets helped their chase. Their impact sub, Arshin Kulkarni, an under-19 World Cup start, was out for a golden duck to Nuwan Tushara, but the pair of Rahul and Stoinis steadied the innings. Rahul snubbed for the T20 World Cup, scored 28 off 22 balls before he became his opposite number Pandya's first wicket, while Stoinis anchored a tricky chase with 62 off 45 balls. The rest of the LSG batters came and went with handy cameos on a tough pitch, which can perhaps best be summed up by the fact that Nicholas Pooran was kept to a runner ball 14 not out to finish the chase in 19.2 overs. Stoinis was the deserved player of the match for taking the wicket of Sky and then making a match-winning half-century. Now, indeed, it was Marcus Stoinis' crucial 62 that laid the platform for LSG to beat MI by 4 wickets in the final over of the match. While his sharp catch to dismiss Rohit Sharma, followed by a tidy spell in the power play, had earlier helped the team make inroads in the match. After the muscular all-rounder pocketed the Player of the Match award, LSG coach Justin Langer singled out Stoinis as a real match winner. Saying this, that in T20s, in big tournaments, match winners are crucial if you're going to keep progressing. He's showing that presence at the top of the order. Langer's words and Stoinis' performance less than a day before Cricket Australia announced the 15-man squad for the T20 World Cup underlined the 34-year-old's value to the national side. Despite not having a contract with Cricket Australia or his state team Western Australia, Stoinis remains a valued player in white ball cricket, and his all-round performances for LSG this IPL have not been ignored. In yesterday's match, Stoinis was given the new ball and he bowled 3 overs in the power play. He conceded just 19 runs and dismissed Suryakumar Yadav, caught behind, gloving down the leg side, apart from catching Rohit at short cover, as MI ended the first 6 overs on 28 for 4. His innings in the second half of the game was again from the number 3 spot, and it began with a slice of luck. Stoinis was fortunate to inside edge to the boundary as he jabbed down on Jasprit Bumrah opener, but he made the most of that shaky start to carve out a match-winning half-century. When Pandya surprisingly took Bumrah out of the attack, Stoinis took on some short deliveries from Gerald Coetzee, and when Bumrah came back to bowl the 6th over, Stoinis lofted him for a straight 6. He reached his 50 off just 39 balls. He was on 62 when he was caught on the boundary of his 45th ball faced, aiming for his third 6. But by then, the job was almost done, and LSG eked out a 4-wicket win over Mumbai Indians. With that, we're going to slip into a short break, but troubles continue for Hardik Pandya, even as he's named the vice captain for the T20 World Cup in the US and the Caribbean. That and more when we return.
You name a place and there is a marathon.
Running in the snow is a much more tougher thing than running just in the oil.
Everything is very different from the plains marathon.
जहाँ से मेरे को लगा था कि it would be a piece of cake, इसके लिए बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, जैसे दिखता है वैसा होता नहीं है सर.
It is definitely much more tougher.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
Welcome back now. Mumbai Indians struggled in this edition of the IPL, and that will not surprise many anymore. But what continues to be A talking point regarding the five-time winners is the form of three of their biggest players, namely Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya, because of the simple reason that Rohit will be leading Team India at this summer's T20 World Cup, where Pandya will be his deputy, and that Surya is the top-ranked batter in T20 Is but has chalky form to his credit. Rohit has so far managed to score 315 runs from 10 innings at an average of 35 and a strike rate of 158, but of that total, 105 came in one inning. Sky missed a few games due to his rehab from injury, and in 7 innings, he has made a total of 176 runs, including 2 50s and 2 ducks. But the major concern for MI and Team India is the form of Hardik Pandya. The all-rounder is averaging 42 runs per wicket, and he has an economy rate of 11 and 197 runs from 10 innings without a 50 and a strike rate of 150. Pandya has bowled in 8 of Mumbai's 10 matches, sending down 23 overs, from which he has 6 wickets. With his pace down and economy up, coupled by his diminishing batting skills, Pandya does not look like the finisher of old that India needs at the World Cup. On top of that is the question of his confidence and thinking, given all that has happened with him since he returned to the MI setup, from being booed by fans home and away to some questionable captaincy calls, to the fact that the franchise sits at 9th on the points table. The BCCI selectors have shown a lot of faith in Pandya, who led Team India in T20 Is when Rohit was out of the picture for 14 months. And he was the designated vice-captain at last year's ODI World Cup before he got injured. India's 15-man squad does not include a finisher, which has raised doubts as to how Pandya, Shivam Dube, Akshar Patel or Ravindra Jadeja will fare in that role at the World Cup. On current batting and bowling form, Pandya is a concern looking at the World Cup, and with MI not in the fray for the IPL playoffs, it remains to be seen whether he can lift his own game before India departs for the tournament to the USA and the Caribbean. Now, let's move on to the beautiful game. It was expected to be a high-octane thriller at the Allianz Arena as the 14-time champions Real Madrid squared off against the German giants Bayern Munich in the semi-finals of the Champions League first leg, and it lived up to its billing. It was a seesaw battle which ended in a 2-all draw, keeping the contest wide open for the two teams. Facing each other for a record 8th time at this stage of the competition, it was Bayern who got off to a strong start, racking up half a dozen attempts on goal by the 15th minute, with Leroy Sané and Harry Kane coming close. Real needed only one chance to score though, stunning the home crowd against the run of play when Kroos sliced open the Bayern defence with a through ball and Vinicius Jr. chased it down to beat goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. Kroos almost added another himself in the 51st, but his curled shot was palmed wide by Neuer, and instead it was Bayern who scored 2 minutes later with a solo effort from Sané for a deserved equaliser. Their comeback was complete in the 57th when Jamal Musiala was brought down by Lucas Vazquez and Harry Kane sent Andre Lunin the wrong way to put the home side ahead. Real chasing a 15th European Cup levelled in the 83rd minute with Vinicius Jr.'s penalty to set up a mouth-watering return leg in Madrid next week. Bayern's coach Thomas Tuchel stressed on the importance of doing well in the reverse fixture.
What I like about it is that we have a very clear situation about the result. We can forget the result and start from new. 0-0 and the goal is absolutely clear. We need to win, and this can be also helpful for the attitude how we go. But we need to be brave. We need to be full of confidence and of course at the same time very focused and clinical in our game. But yeah, let's see. Of course it's possible. It is still a 50-50 match. The result is totally even. I think we will be able to create chances in Bernabeu. Is it one of the most difficult places to win, yes, but this is a challenge. It's the beauty of it, and it will be very, very difficult. But we have 90 minutes, maybe 120, or maybe penalties to put it to our side.
Meanwhile, Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti was happy with the result, but added that his team could have done better.
Bayern, I think, showed their best version. We only in part. I think we did very well in some moments. By chance, the best moment of the match was when we conceded the 2 goals, because we had good ball control. But they attack us without balance and scored 2 goals. Nothing special. I think it's good result that gives us confidence for the second leg. The tie is still wide open because Bayern have shown players with great qualities.
Especial, creo que es un buen resultado que nos da confianza para
Brazilian defender Thiago Silva announced on Monday that he is departing from Chelsea at the end of the season after 4 years at the Premier League club, but said he hoped to return in a different role. The 39-year-old joined from Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer in August 2020 and has made 151 appearances for Chelsea, winning the Champions League, Club World Cup and Super Cup. Chelsea means a lot to me. This is what he said. I came here with the intention of only staying for a year and it ended up being 4 years. Silva, whose sons are now on Chelsea's books, posted this, which was an emotional video on the club website. And he said, I think in everything I did here over the 4 years, I always gave my all, but unfortunately everything has a start, a middle and an end. That doesn't mean that this is a definitive end. I hope to leave the door open so that in the near future I can return, albeit in another role here. Premier League clubs have agreed in principle to implement a spending cap after receiving majority support. However, according to a BBC report, a final vote is expected in June. The clubs have tentatively agreed to put a limit on how much money they can spend, with a cap based on how much money the lowest earning club in the league makes from television rights. The Athletic said the measure was discussed at the English top flight's shareholders meeting in London on Monday, adding that the cap can come into effect as early as the 2025-26 season. There were 16 clubs that voted in favour of the new guidelines. Manchester City, Manchester United and Aston Villa opposed the possible introduction of a spending cap on Monday. Meanwhile, Chelsea abstained. The league's current financial rules, under which Everton and Nottingham Forest were penalised 8 and 4 points respectively this season, have been criticised for favouring clubs with the highest revenues. A spending cap would limit clubs' outlay on transfers, wages and agent fees. Okay, with that, we're going to slip into another break. Just a bit more on Game On, so stay with us.
There's a new video around what deepfake can do.
We have seen a trailer of this a few days back.
Rollers should not be only on the platform.
We'll have to wait and see how those play out.
Hindenburg's report cannot be taken as gospel of truth.
Luxury is now becoming a need rather than something that you aspire to be. So that is adding a lot of fuel. Obviously, government has played a vital role in it.
In a city like Mumbai, a luxury home may be something upwards of rupees 10 crores. In city like Delhi, again, maybe something upwards of 8-9 crores. But in Bangalore, we typically define a luxury home, anything which is upwards of about 3 crores.
It's a combination of increased wealth, availability of more luxurious homes, and simultaneously the overall economy doing better.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. Now on to the news about Turkish Football Federation possible match fixing in one of the matches. The Turkish Football Federation launched an investigation into allegations of match fixing in a third-tier game. Ankaraspor and Nazilli Belediyespor drew 0-0 in the TTF2 league game on Sunday, which meant the former reached the promotion playoffs while the latter avoided relegations. There were no shots in the match, while Ankaraspor had 2 corners and Nazillispor had none. No red or yellow cards were shown. In fact, Nazilli Belediyespor President Sahin Kaya, he denied allegations of match fixing, saying his team played a tough game. There was no immediate comment from Ankaraspor. Today marks the 30th anniversary of the death of Brazil's 3-time Formula One champion Ayrton Senna at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix in Imola, Italy. The accident happened when Senna's Williams car speared across the track at the fast Tamburello corner and hit the wall. The front suspension snapped and the wheel folded up against the cockpit surround, punching a suspension component into Senna's helmet, which fatally injured the F1 legend. The effect of his death at the age of 34 devastated Brazil and brought the country to a standstill, both on learning of his death and during his state funeral. The cause of Senna's accident remains open to conjecture, with an Italian court in 1997 clearing Frank Williams and his team, including technical director Patrick Head and designer Adrian Newey, of any blame. Senna's death also halted Formula One in its tracks. Safety measures were instituted immediately, with cockpit surrounds being raised so that the drivers were adequately shielded. Corners at the tracks were modified and runoff areas were extended. Senna raced in 161 Grand Prix over 10 years, took 65 pole positions and won 41 of them. He was world champion in 1988, 90 and 91. Okay, with that, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to wrap this bulletin up, but as we go, just weeks before his 8th birthday, Karam Singh joked about becoming a breakdancer while watching a Justin Timberlake video. And 16 years on, Kid Karam is preparing for the Paris 2024 Olympics. We leave you with these visuals. Enjoy.
When I started breaking, I was in a crew and I looked up to that crew, and that was my community, and I had older people to sort of guide me through life experiences and breaking experiences. And the community for me is still there. The community makes me who I am. Being from a small city, I've always wanted to do big things. Some people allow being from a smaller place to hold them back, but for me, I allowed it to be a superpower. You know, I wanted to turn up to big events, kind of arrive unknown and leave unforgettable. I feel like at first when we had the Olympic announcement, there was a lot of back and forth. Some people were for, some people are against, even within our own scene. But I think the more it's gone on, the way that it's been like exposed to this new world, I think it's done really, really well. And I think generally it's attracting a new demographic to breaking and to dance in general, because as much as breaking is a sport, like I said, it's still a dance, a sport, a culture.
A defiant performance by Ten Hag's men. Now standing at 7 feet 4 inches, Satnam Singh is making his way into professional wrestling.
We are getting more good news for India.
It's probably the best kept secret in India.
Family-owned business, which has been extremely clinical in their approach. They have not hesitated ever to kill their darlings.
Typical to a South Indian business empire, I think they've shunned the limelight, almost deliberately.
40 countries, 1,000 multilingual bookstalls, 1.25 lakh people. One destination, the New Delhi World Book Fair 2024.
So it's a great honour to be here. Thank you to the National Book Trust and those that have embraced us over recent days.
I was at the London Book Fair once and I had not participated here, but this fair is an ocean and it's beautiful.
This should be your annual spring picnic.
Through the power of knowledge, we are going to create responsible citizens, global citizens with global skills and also global responsibility.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
India's ever-evolving urban landscape is witnessing a new revolution. And this one comes on 4 wheels.
The affluence has been growing. Cars are becoming more a reflection of what you are.
Nobody's talking about hatchbacks. Now what next? The next is the SUV.
The contribution of SUVs is close to 55-60% of the automobile sales these days.
Is that even manufacturers like to sell SUVs?
So, how did a nation obsessed with fuel economy come to love heavy gas-guzzling sports utility vehicles? Let's look at how India fell in love with the SUV.